بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. There's a pious person by the name of Abu Awn, and he says ما تكلم الناس بكلمة شديدة إلا وإلى جنبها كلمة هي ألين منها تجزئ مرزأتها. Whenever somebody has spoken a word and this word is slightly harsh, it was not polite, not kind, you'll always find that if that person was a bit more deliberate, a bit more thoughtful, and he spoke before he thought before he spoke, he thought of the implication of his speech, he would have found that the very same words that I uttered, the meaning I was trying to get across, the message I was trying to get across, there was a more appropriate, suitable, kinder, softer, loving word that would have done the same job that that harsh word has done. Yes. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he says something about leenul kalam. That a part of iman is leenul kalam. You have soft speech. And when a person speaks kindly, then what happens? So many things. The one is, you have jalbul manfa'ah. You will gain so much benefit. You become kind to people, you become beloved to people. You will become appreciated by people. And you have daf'ul madarra. You will also save yourself from lots of harm. You will have fights. You will have arguments. There's so many things that you will gain by making your speech soft, kind, polite, humble, loving, and caring. So that's why the Prophet ﷺ, you have many. He said here that this tongue, this will be the cause of the majority of people going to fire of Jahannam. So either Mu'adh bin Jabal radiallahu anhu, or one other companion, he said, we were shocked. He said, because of what we say, we'll go in Jahannam. The Prophet said, Thaqilat ka ummuk. What are you on about? Do you understand this much? Majority of the people will go into Jahannam because of the fruits of their tongue. Whatever you said, that will lead in the fire of Jahannam. So what we need to do is sometimes just think, be a bit more deliberate in what you say. Before you say something, you don't have to sit down take a 10-minute break. Just sit down 1 second, 2 seconds. How do I phrase this? What word should I choose? And this will save you from so many problems, so many disputes. Sometimes you will think, you know what? I don't need to reply to this question right now. Somebody's passed a comment regarding you, which is a bit, he's trying to have a dig at you. So, you know what? I don't need to reply right now. It's not worth a reply. And if you look, I was mentioning in class as well, if you look, many times, if you look back on your past, any argument that you had, any dispute that you had, anything that you said, you look back and say, you know what, it wasn't really worth it. You had a dispute with your mom, dispute with your dad, your brother, your sister, cousin, uncle, student, classmate, friend at school. You realize, you know what, it wasn't really worth that. We got in a fight over what? Something very insignificant. When he pushed me, and I pushed him back. And then from there, what? They got in a fight. So he pushed me, he's like, okay, barakallah fi, Allah give you hidayah. And from there it can lead to big fights. I've seen people, when we were younger, came to the masjid, he pushed the other kid. So one day he pushed him, next day the other kid came and he pushed him harder. And from there he went until he had a hand fight outside on the road. Literally, from where? Pushing one kid to pushing the other kid. And from there every day it got worse and worse until they got into a bigger hand fight outside from nothing. So sometimes we deliberate, think that, what am I saying? Let me say something which is going to be worth the while. And sometimes one of the things that will bring make our a'mal very weighty in the day of Qiyamah is the words that we say. You understand? Sometimes the Prophet ﷺ says, a person says a word, he doesn't even pay attention to this word. What am I really saying? He just says something. La yulqi laha balan. But because of this, he goes in Jannah, not even realizing that he said a word that takes him to Jannah. And the same thing is also true for the contrary. Sometimes a person says a word, La yulqi laha balan. He pays no attention to this word, meaning he said it, normal, harsh word. He didn't pay attention to what he was really saying. But he hurt somebody's heart. It led to some severe consequences. And the result of this, it leads in the fire of Jahannam. So if you have keystone habits, certain things that will change your life. Right now I can think of 3 things that could change your life for anybody. Number 1 is control your phone usage. Number 1. Number 2 is go to sleep early. And number 3 is control your tongue. You get these 3 things in some of these 3 things, like this, not major things. Just get these 3 things in place. And the rest of your life will be like a success. Like very easy. Control your phone usage. And that comes with going to sleep early at night time. And number 3 is keep your tongue nice and soft. Like, not be hypocritical. Like, you're a hypocrite, you say one thing in front of him, or you just talk bad behind him. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that people like know, oh, he's very sweet. He's very sweet mouth, it's very sweet tongue. It made it very nice to speak to that person. The Prophet said, you can meet somebody, you come in class with a smile, the whole environment changes. I don't know if you've seen social experiments. One person starts laughing in the train. You've seen this one? There's a person in the train starts laughing, and no one knows what he's laughing for. He starts laughing, and the person next to him starts laughing. And in 5 minutes, the whole thing is burst out laughing, and they have no idea why they're laughing. So that happiness you bring to somebody else, idkhalu surur ala akhika al-muslim, it's also a good deed, making a Muslim brother happy. And happens with just a bit of attention, a bit of detail, a bit of deliberateness. So let's try to make that our kalam, our speech, our tongues become a means of us having lots of reward in the hereafter. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.